rupam swarupena vyavasthitam. The swarupa or the actual identity, the swarupa or the actual identity of the Supreme Lord of the living entity is described by Lord Chaitanya. Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa. The real identity of the living entity is that he is eternally a servitor of the Supreme Lord. If one is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord, he is to be understood. He is to be understood as liberated. One must understand whether or not he is liberated by his activities in devotional service, not by other symptoms. Okay. Recite the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana Thimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोन्दिनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्. So, Hare Krishna, welcome everybody. I will repeat the translation one more time. The personality of Godhead said, My dear mother, the path of self-realization, which I have already instructed to you, is very easy. You can execute this system without difficulty, and by following it, you shall very soon be liberated, even within your present body. So here, this is a discussion between the Kapila Dev and Mother Devabhuti. Here, Kapila Dev, after instructing about the Ashtanga Yoga and then all the Jnana Yoga, and then finally he instructed about the Bhakti Yoga process. Now he is stressing here the importance of the Bhakti Yoga process. It is said that like our acharyas and or in the scriptures also, it is said that right there are different process of self-realization, different ages. Basically, in Satya Yuga it was impersonal meditation. In Dwapara Yuga it is in Treta Yuga it is uh, elaborate arrangements of fire sacrifices, different kinds of sacrifices. In Dwapara Yuga, it is elaborate temple worship, and in Kali Yuga, it is Harinam Sankirtan. So these processes are recommended practices. They are not okay because you are in Kali Yuga, you only have to do this thing like that, or if you are only Satya Yuga, you only have to do impersonal meditation. It's not like that. Like not in person meditation, it is a Ashtanga yoga process or Dhyana yoga. Okay, so because the reason why it is recommended is the lifespan of the person and the nature of the person in those ages was very sattvic and they have very lengthy lifespan. So, but the process of Bhakti Yoga can give the results very fast. Kind of, it's not any disadvantage, but the thing is, the sadhaka, he wanted to release the journey also at every step. Of course, even the Bhakti Yogi also will release the journey very much. Journey means journey to the self-realization. If the goal is self-realization or going back to Godhead, then the path of journey to that destination is performing sadhana, performing seva, and all all the things. Okay, so they wanted to release the path of self self realization also. So that's why you know different devotees perfected their life in different ways, even in Satyuga also. If you see Dhruva Maharaj, he engaged in process of Bhakti Yoga as instructed by Narada Muni. He made a murti of the Lord as with the description given by Narada Muni, and he chanted the uh, name of Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra for within 6 months, and with the intense austerities. Along with that, he also performed the basic steps of Ashtanga Yoga process. What there is Yoga Ruksha, Yoga Ruda. Yoga Ruksha means the basic steps. Yoga Ruda is the advanced stage. Yoga Ruksha stage, it involves Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. Hmm? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. And the Yoga Ruda stage involves Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi. So these 8 steps comprises of 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga process. So Dhruva Maharaj took the first steps. Narada Muni says to Dhruva Maharaj, in order to control your senses, you perform pranayama. So he took that thing from the Ashtanga Yoga, and the rest of all he performed Bhakti Yoga process. So just by controlling his senses, and of course, yes, Yama Niyama already included, because any yogi has to do this Yama Niyama and asana. He was also very well situated in the performing asanas, means like a steady bodily position. Okay, and then pranayama he did that. Okay, so and he was able to achieve success within the span of 6 months. But there are many sages, many places it is mentioned in scripture that even some people perform tapasya for thousands of years, they are not able to achieve any success. Achieve success means they are not able to get the darshan of the Lord. So now the point here is, even in Satya Yuga they used to perform the Bhakti Yoga process. Now Lord Kapila is directly instructing to Mother Devahuti, you perform Bhakti Yoga process, you just don't worry about anything, because she is already spent most of her life, and she she's not going to have the association of Kapila Muni also. Mm. So and association of other devotees might be there, I don't know, but she Kapil Dev is recommending this Bhakti Yoga process to her, and it is very easy, and that is one more aspect. Okay, so what is the potency of devotion service? Is the devotion service can impact. For example, somebody wants to perform Ashtanga Yoga, they have to follow strict brahmacharya ashram. Means they cannot stay with family. They have to go to forest. They have to renounce everything. They have to cut down like their eating, their sleeping, their all bodily necessities, so that they don't have any difficulty in controlling their senses and focus and all those things. So, but what to speak then what is how can the persons who are actually situated in the society, who are actually like working and with the family and and with income and all those things, how can they be liberated? And with respect to Jnana Yoga is involving the study of Vedic scriptures, elaborate study of Vedic scriptures, Upanishads and all those things, and realizing oneself as the uh, as not the body, as a soul, and then uh, merging into the impersonal Brahman is the ultimate success one can achieve through the Jnana Yoga process. So, but for Bhakti Yoga just involves these 9 basic steps, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So, none of the aspects of Bhakti Yoga are, uh, very difficult. They are very easy actually. Hmm? Just somebody saying about Krishna, that is Kirtanam. Somebody narrating the pastimes of Krishna, somebody glorifying the beauty of Krishna, that is Kirtanam. And then you just have to listen to it attentively. That is Shravanam. And then Smaranam, just remember Krishna because you heard the pastimes of Krishna and you know the qualities of Krishna, you know what Krishna likes and what Krishna dislikes. And just remember the glories of Krishna and Krishna's devotee. That itself is Smaranam. So basically, if you see every living entity, especially in the society, they wanted to have some kind of engagement. Like I was speaking to my family, and I have a grandmother actually, and she is very old. So my sister was saying like no, the grandmother is so old, no, but if somebody comes from the village to visit, and she will sit and she'll keep on asking questions. She keep on talking because uh, they relish what's going on around in the village and who is doing what, like that. So that is the nature of the living entity. The nature of the living entity is to know what is there, to hear about others, to be curious about what's happening around them. That's why the newspaper, all those things. Like most of the time, whatever that comes in newspapers, we will not be able to do anything about it, but we are very curious what's happening around it, what's going on. Mm. So uh, so these propensities are already inbuilt in the soul. Because soul has the subtle and gross senses. So Lord Krishna has given this power to the soul uh, to be able to experience the objects of sense gratification using its senses only for the sake of performing service. Mm. So, but when the soul, due to misguided souls, use it for the sake of sense gratification, enjoying anything independent of Krishna is called sense gratification. Uh, So, uh, the Bhakti Yoga process is very simple. Just dovetail all the propensities. You dovetail all the propensities. Even the so-called um, Arishad Vargas. Arishad Vargas are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Hmm. Even these Arishad Vargas, when they are engaged in Krishna service, they themselves will purify and then purify us, and then they will be the source of our liberation. So basically, why one gets entangled in this material world is acting on a platform of ego and basically uh, comes under the control of this Arishad Varga, means the six anarthas. The six anarthas means lust. You may like anybody having any tendency to enjoy in a minute of Krishna, it is called lust. Lust is not only sexual intercourse, okay? It's not related to sexual intercourse, but it also like anything, any sense gratification which is not in connection with Krishna, or any kind of motivation or any kind of thoughts which is actually not related to Krishna consciousness can be considered as lust. Because uh, Krishna says, right, for the lust is the most formidable enemy of the living entities. Because uh, when the lust is not satisfied, it will transform into krodha, means anger. And when the anger is there, the person, due to anger, a person will act very abnormally, and he doesn't know what he is doing, and he develop enmity and all those things. Okay, but when the lust is fulfilled, it will transform into attachment. Means attachment means uh, uh, lobha. Okay, Kama, Krodha, Lobha. These are the three gates of the hell. Bhagavad Gita says, right? What are the three gates of the hell in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, last verse, like 20th verse, I think. It says, uh, Kama, Krodha, Lobha. These are the three gates to the hell. Anybody acting on that platform, for them, the doors of the hell are wide open and they are entering into the hellish lifestyle. So if one doesn't rectify this kind of mentality before the death and then focus on Krishna consciousness, then their degradation to the hellish planets is guaranteed. So, but uh, and this formidable enemy, that very dangerous enemy, the lust. So because lust is the root cause. When the lust is satisfied, it transforms into anger. When the lust is not satisfied, when the lust is satisfied, it will transform into lobha, kama, krodha, lobha. And then when lust is not satisfied, it will transform into anger. So lust is the root cause. So how to handle this lust? Just dovetail everything in Krishna's service. So whatever you may have, whatever you may think, like singing, dancing, famous, or to becoming famous, or to be like artist, serving, everything can be actually engaged in Krishna service. That is the beauty of the process of Bhakti Yoga, because everything has the utility in the existence. Like uh, Prabhupada gives example, right? Like Kama, the gopis have engaged this attachment towards Krishna. That's why they got perfected. Uh, and then next one is Kama Krodha, means Krodha, the Hanumanji. He gave the example of Hanumanji. Hanumanji engaged his anger in the service of Lord Ram because Hanuman was angry upon Ravana for kidnapping Sita. That's why he killed the demonic soldiers and he burnt Lanka. So he's considered the greatest devotee of Lord, even though he exhibited so much of anger. Even Arjuna, he he fought entire Kurukshetra war, and nobody can fight a war without anger. Mm. So, but Arjuna fought with war, but he still considered as the greatest devotees. Uh, Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Means Lobha means the desire, desire to make progress, hankering, more and more hankering. That hankering can be uh, just if our attachment is to make progress in spiritual advancement or to be able to serve more and more to Krishna, then that hankering can be easily dovetail in Krishna service. So like that, all anarthas, like last kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Matsarya means like envy. Only the envy cannot be engaged in Krishna service because envy is the root cause for us to come back into this material world. Envy towards Krishna or envy to, in fact, envy to any living entity is very dangerous. So we should be only careful that this envy, this can be counteracted when we have the rightful attitude, means attitude towards Krishna, attitude towards other living entities. When somebody is on the level of dasanudasa, mm, then he can never be envy. A das, a servant, or not like a antidote to the envy is being humble and being with a proper service attitude. So, so like that, everything what are actually very difficult to overcome in the other processes is can be easily overcome in the process of Bhakti Yoga, by doing which we will see every living entity has this lust. Basically, I heard from one of the preacher. He said, "No, lust is intrinsic in our for lust is required for our existence." How can we say lust is required? Because if you see even our bodily cells also, they have self-reservation. They have no your our immune system is also an example. If any foreign body enters into our body, immediately it will fight it off. So that is they only we want to enjoy, not you. Like no, it is opposing. So for the survival of any living entity, the lust is required. But lust, when we dovetail in Krishna's service, it will actually be a source of our liberation. So now Prabhupada in this words, he stresses about How, yes, performing devotion service is required, but how to perform devotion service? Prabhupada stresses on under the guidance of one word spiritual master. So under the guidance, when we engage everything, when we act according to the instructions of one word spiritual master, it will actually satisfy the heart of spiritual master and in turn satisfy the heart of Krishna. Mm. So when we give such kind of satisfaction to spiritual master and uh, and satisfy Krishna by following the instructions of spiritual master, that is the best and easiest and most effective way of attaining spiritual progress or getting liberation. So uh, even the other processes also, Jnana Yoga process, Karma Yoga process, and Dhyana Yoga process, and they also require a spiritual master. Hmm? So because the element of bhakti is required even for other process to attain success. Without that element of bhakti or devotion or surrender, nobody can make advancement. Hmm? So there is a nice how should be the surrender to a spiritual master? Prabhupada is elaborating that one should not look for the material qualification inside a spiritual master. They should only look for spiritual qualification. But the advancement of any devotee or any person in any process of yoga depends on two things mainly: the spiritual master, the instructions of spiritual master, and sincerity to follow the instructions of spiritual master. So uh, it is said that a spiritual master may sometimes seemingly on externally he may not be able to be advanced or anything like that. But of course, until we accept a spiritual master, a disciple will have the freedom to either to accept or not. But once accepted, uh, with dedication and with the utmost sincerity, one should try to at least follow the instructions of spiritual master. That's how they will make the advancement. And Krishna says, right, in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipratena pariprashnena seva yada upadekshanti te jnanam jnana tattva darshanam. Means, if you want to make advancement in your spiritual life, you have to go accept a spiritual master and do pranipat, means surrender to him. Means surrender means like when spiritual master says something, we should not have the contrary opinion. And then Pranipat Pariprashna, but when while executing or while following the instructions and executing the duties as per the instruction of spiritual master, if we have any questions, Pariprashna, by humbly inquiring from the spiritual master, that will clear off all our doubts. And then uh, Upadekshan, that's how you get the Jnanam from the spiritual master. And when the Jnanam is put into practice, it will transform into Vijnanam, which will actually help us to attain a success. So, I would like to narrate a small pastime here. It's not like a pastime, it's a story of Kanakadas. Kanakadas belongs to some kind of, like a shepherd background. And he was a great devotee of the Lord Krishna, and in his previous life, and in this life, due to his some previous life, the bhakti credits carrying forward, Lord gives him the instructions to accept a spiritual master, and he also gives instructions whom to accept as spiritual master. Now, of course, there is a nice pastime, Lord comes in the dream of Kanakadas and telling, Kanakadas, become my devotee, Kanakadas, become my disciple, all those Krishna was saying to him in his dreams. And Kanakadas was saying, no, no, I don't want to renounce all these things and become devotee and then give up everything. No, I wanted to enjoy. Like that, he was postponing. And one time, uh, in order to, some incident happened in the life of Kanakadas. What happens is, his group, some enemy group actually attacked the group of Kanakadas, and Kanakadas took in the fighting against to support his group. So basically, after the war, when the war was going on, once one of the warrior, he actually throws a knife at the Kanakadas from behind. So his body was very badly injured, and then he was suffering so much. And at that point of time, Lord again appears in the dream and says, Kanakadas, would you like to surrender to me, or would you like to take a bhakti process? And Kanakadas become very serious. Hey, what is this all surrender, surrender? No? Like there are so many people looking after you. Why don't you go to them? Why are you coming to me? Like that, he becomes a kind of upset on Krishna. And Krishna smilingly says, no, tells about the past life of Kanakadas. Yeah, in your past life, you are a great devotee of me, and you actually served me so much. Mm. But due to your little bit of uh, enjoying mentality, or a little bit of desires that you had, you have to take another life now. And you, in that life also, you prayed, you know that what you are doing is wrong, and you very uh, intensely prayed to help uh, to help uh, to help you to get out of that situation. So that's why I'm coming in your dreams and suggesting you just to reciprocate with your prayers. So then Kanagada says, okay, then let us make a deal. You first cure me of all these bodily pains, then I will try to see, I'll surrender to you. So until that point of time, Lord was coming in the dream and was saying to him, surrender, but he was not able to surrender, or he was not able to become a devotee of Krishna. But when the Kanagada said, Lord actually touched his body, and then entire all the contaminations of the body is gone, and all the contaminations of the hearts are vanquished, and immediately he becomes so much in separation from Krishna, and he was started crying. He wanted to take darshan of the Lord, and he runs immediately to take darshan of the Lord to the temple, and finally he, by the mercy of the Lord, he gets the darshan and all those things. And then Lord says to Kanakadas, you accept Vyasatirtha as your guru. So Kanakadas goes to Vyasatirtha, and he goes, like, he was actually staying in different far off country. He travels and goes and meets Vyasatirtha. Vyasatirtha, some people say his name is Vyasaraya also. In some narrations they say his name is Vyasaraya or Vyasatirtha. This Vyasatirtha is not the same Vyasatirtha as in our disciplic succession. So, but he is a great devotee. He was a Brahman, but he was but Vyasatirtha has a like, no, even like this Udupi's they have these strict rules. Only Brahmins has to be accepted and initiated. The Udupi in the Udupi lineage, in the Udupi temple, around the Udupi temple, they don't initiate anybody except Brahmanas. So that's the reason, like if you see in Udupi, most of them are Muslims now. So, but it is out of kindness of Prabhupada. Prabhupada initiated, accepted everybody, irrespective of who they are. He accepted Muslims, he accepted of Christians, he accepted low-born people, and he gave us chance to advance, irrespective of our previous life situation. So this Vyasatirtha has this strict rule that I will only accept the Brahmanas, I won't accept anybody. So, but this Kanakadas goes to Vyasatirtha and asks, my Lord instructed me to accept you as my spiritual master. I would like to, I request you to accept me as your disciple. And this Vyasatirtha says, and Vyasatirtha doesn't like he never did, and he never accepted anybody other than a Brahmana. And he was actually he was actually in a shepherd community. And then so when he sees that, no, he says, okay, you just chant the name of buffalo. He just wanted to get rid of Vyastirtha because, and but Vyastirtha says, I surrender to you. Whatever you say, I will do. So then Vyastirtha wanted to get rid of this person. He said, okay, just chant the name of buffalo. I don't know what, no, because in native Indian languages that there will be nice mantras, right? Uh, so he gave the name of buffalo, and then he goes off, thinking that this person will, I misdirected him. I didn't give the right initiation to him. So, but Vyasdev took the instructions of, Kanakadas took the instructions of Vyasdita so seriously, he started chanting the name of buffalo very sincerely. So after some time, he became so well situated in his meditation and in his sadhana that Lord appeared as buffalo in front of him, and he says, "I'm very pleased with you. How can I ask me any benediction?" And Vyasdev says, see, I don't have any desire. I don't, I'm very satisfied with doing devotion service to Krishna. I don't have any desire, but just follow me. I'll take you to my guru. And if my guru has any desires, I will, you can fulfill, like that he says. Okay, then Lord in the form of buffalo, not somebody says it is Yamaraj. Oh, because Yamaraj's vehicle is buffalo, so it is Yamaraj who appeared in the form of buffalo. So basically, both Yamaraj and the Lord also are of same nature, in the sense Yamaraj is a representative of Krishna only. So we can consider, okay, Lord appeared in the form of buffalo. So Kanakadas takes buffalo to Vyastirtha. And Vyastirtha said, what is this? They said, uh, I was chanting the name of buffalo, and this Lord has appeared in front of the. I was chanting the name that you have given me, and Lord has appeared in this form in front of me, and Lord is asking me to ask for any benediction. And I said, I don't have anything to fulfill, and I that's why I brought him to here. And Vasudev was becomes very impressed, and he said, he's looking at his dedication and looking at his sincerity. And then even Vasudev says, I also don't have any desires. So then he says, okay, uh, then that village has some problem, there is some boulder actually blocking the water passage. It's a very big rock, and nobody was able to move it. So then this Kanakada says, if we can actually remove this boulder, that will be fine. I consider it as a benediction to me, like that he says. So the Lord in the form of buffalo actually takes off this boulder and throws it away and then disappears. So if you see here, uh, Vyastirtha did not give a bona fide instruction to Kanakadas. He gave some, some random and some uh, illogical instruction. Mm. But with the sincerity of Kanakadas, he was able to achieve the perfection. So later, after this incident, Vasirtha accepted Kanakadas as his disciple. And we all know how Kanakadas was envied by all other disciples of Vasudev and Kanakadas, but only Vasudev knows the advanced position of Kanakadas. Mm. And then, when all the disciples were very much uh, keeping distance from Kanakadas and thinking that he's a low born and all those things, uh, Vasudev actually, there are some pastimes, right? He gave a mango and tells them, okay, you eat this mango without anybody seeing. uh, And all the disciples eats the mangoes in different ways. But Kanagadas brings the mango and says, no, I can't find any place where nobody sees, because I see Paramatma constantly watching me. That is one of the pastime. And another pastime is Kanagadas has the uh, direct connection with the Lord. So Kanakadas used to tell, right, in order to glorify the Kanakadas, Vyasirtha again arranges one more time, says he different disciples. Now he sings very nice kirtan. Does he go back to Godhead? And Kanagada says, no, he's not going to back to Godhead. And somebody says he's a good preacher, does he go back to Godhead? Then Kanagada says, no, no. So he says no to everybody. And finally he says, Kanagada, do I go back to Godhead or not? And Kanagada says, no. And Kanagada says, no, you also not go to, will not be able to go back to Godhead. So when all the other disciples, they become, they are preparing to beat up Kanakadas, and Vyasitha stopped everybody and says, Kanakadas, will you go back to Godhead? So when that question was asked to Kanakadas about him, Kanakadas says, if I go, I may go. Means if the conception of I and mine, this is mine, this is not mine, that thing, that nature is gone, that mentality, if I go, means if this I mentality is gone, then I may go. Yes, I will be able to go back to Godhead only if I remove myself from the center of my existence. Then then everybody was pacified. Okay, so like that, with the sincerity of the disciple, with the sincerity, the and the bona fide, following the bona fide spiritual master, one will be able to easily attain perfection in the process of bhakti yoga. So and Prabhupada writes in the purport, right? What is liberation for a bhakti yoga? Bhakti yoga means um, muktir hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavasthitam. Means, see, there are two times, like in the when a living entity comes into this material world, there are two times the living entity. Uh, there are two kinds of situations the living entity goes through at the end of the dissolution. Okay, one time what will happen at the end of, there are two types of pralayas in there. One is uh, Naimitika pralaya and no, actually there are three types. Like there are many types of pralayas are there, but one pralaya is the at the end of Brahmaji's day. That is at that time, all the living entities below Swargaloka are destroyed. But at the end of Brahmaji's life, that is complete pralaya. That is destruction of entire metal creation, entire universe. So at that point of time, all the living entities will merge into the body of Mahavishnu. So they will merge into the body of Mahavishnu, but they will have this nature without any, they will not lose their nature. Means, see, for example, somebody might have this, the nature in the sense that the nature of the subtle body, the subtle body. So whatever we do, whatever the actions, whatever action we do, there are changes in our subtle body, changes in mind, intelligence, and ego, which is covering the soul. So at the end of destruction of this entire material world, uh, the soul along with its subtle body will merge into the body of Mahavishnu, and it will remain there in a suspended state. In the sense, like a movie is going on, you just made a pause. So when you hit the pause, then all the characters will, all the actions will be suspended. But when you again hit the start button, the video will resume from the where it stopped. In the same way, when the living entity at the end of Mahapralaya goes into the body of Mahavishnu, it will kept in the suspended state. Means the amount of desires, the amount of changes in the subtle body will stay with the soul only. So when again the creation takes place in the next life, the soul will be brought back along with the subtle body and then will be given a new body. So, but this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mata, matsarya, whatever there in the subtle body of the living entity, the ego, uh, that will resume in the next life also. Then after in the new universe also. So basically, unless we take shelter of Guru, uh, sorry, Unless we take shelter of Guru, unless we consciously make endeavors to get rid of these anarthas, we will not be able to get liberated. But what is liberation? Muktir hitva means give up all the anyata rupam. Muktir hitva anyata rupam. Give up all other rupas, all other identities. Because right now we have different identities, right? I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a father, I'm a professional, I'm an engineer, doctor, I'm Indian, American, all these identities. Muktir hitva anata rupam. Means give up all these identities and all the rupas. And and we also have different rupas also. One time we might be in animal species, one time we might be in the demigod species, sometimes in the human species. So these are different swarupas, rupas. So muktir hitva, what is mukti? Mukti means giving up all these temporary identities and swarupena vyavasitam. Every living entity has a swarupa. Swarupa means it's a real identity. So we have to take up our real identity. So basically, the identities, our real identity also is of two types. Okay, the generic real identity and the actual real identity. The uh, actual real identity is every living entity has a specific relationship with Krishna. Somebody might be a gopi. You know? There are different five rasas, right? Shanta rasa, dasya rasa, sakya rasa, Vasalya rasa, Madhuri rasa. So these different kinds of rasas, all the animals, all the trees, and all the living entities who are actually doesn't have any personal form, they are in Shanta rasa. The trees also have a loving relationship with Krishna. The animals in Goloka, like cows, and also have a loving relationship with Krishna in Shanta rasa. And next to that is Dasya rasa, means that servitor mode, you know, like Hanuman, all those living in all such kind of devotees. They are in Dasya rasa. And next level to that is Shantarasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa. Sakya rasa means the friendly disposition. The Gopas, Gopis, Gopas, especially Gopas, and then devotees like Arjuna, they are in Sakya rasa. Uddhava, he's also in Sakya rasa. And then next to Sakya is Vatsalya rasa, Mother Yashoda, Gopas, and all those things. They are elderly gopis, especially. And they are in Vatsalya rasa towards Krishna. And higher than that is Madhurya rasa. Madhurya rasa, in Madhurya rasa, they will be in a conjugal loving relationship with Krishna. So it is said that in the spiritual world, every living entity, everyone is fully satisfied, fully uh, satisfied with their own position, and they doesn't want to give up their position for anything in the existence. Means even the trees in Shantarasa, they are fully satisfied with their position, their relationship with Krishna. They don't want to give up this position for anything. But if Krishna desires, if Krishna wants him to, or him or that the devotee wants to, Krishna wants the devotee to serve him in different disposition, then they will accept a different role. So basically, in all these rasas, one thing is common, that is service to the Lord. So all the Nitya Siddhas are Nitya no, the all the persons, all the everyone in the spiritual world are constantly in service of Krishna. So that is a specific role in their specific role. But the generic swarupa of every living entity is Jivera Swarupa Hai Krishna Nityadas. So for anybody, nobody, they don't have to go back to spiritual world, or they don't have to realize their self original swarupa to understand that I am servant of God. So of course our swarupa might be different in the spiritual world, but if our swarupa, if you just realize that we are just the servant of Krishna, whatever like no, whatever the position we may be in, we can engage everything in Krishna's service. And that is most important. and which will ultimately lead this to our original self-realization. So that's how the bhakti process works, and that is the science of this bhakti process. So by which we can attain ultimate perfection in our spiritual life. Okay, I would like to end here. If anybody have any questions or comments, you can take care. I'm sorry, I went a little over time today. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Truly very nice class. Thank you so much, especially explaining the story so nicely in the details. Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for wonderful class. Prabhuji, is that in that Kanaka story you told that still in Madhva Sampradaya they only give for Brahmanas, Prabhuji? In that
Yeah, I heard
Urdu?
stories. I heard they only in the Mother Sampradaya, they only give initiation to the Brahmanas. Brahmanas by birth. I think
We are really
actually
much,
everybody,
yeah.
all the sampradayas, like I don't know of all sampradayas, most of the sampradayas, they follow that only. By birth, Brahmana should be like that. But only very advanced devotees like Prabhupada, no, they will be able to accept anybody and then make him Brahmanas.
Thank you.
Okay, Lenitier Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti
Jai.
Vaishnava ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you